cruising into an autumn of discontent, nobody in charge, and lots of navel-gazing from the Conservative Party. How do you respond to that?
No, it's totally the opposite. We're not putting new policies in place. What we are doing, we're delivering on the policies that are already there. The £37 billion worth of support that Rishi Sunak announced when he was Chancellor, and that Liz Truss has said that she's going to build on with a series of tax cuts even when she gets in as Prime Minister. And so only just last week, for example, I was phoning up local authorities around the country to see what more they can do to speed up the council tax rebates that are going out to council taxpayers around the country. You saw in July support in the national insurance thresholds, and next month you're going to start seeing the rebates directly on people's energy bills. So the support is coming through. It's not all come through yet, but it will be there in time as people seeing their prices rising. But we know there's more to do because we're at the foothills of this situation at the moment.
There really is more to do, and I just wonder whether or not you can't accept that, you know, perhaps this leadership debate and contest is going on too long. We go straight in the autumn into conference season, and it just feels as though the whole system is not really geared up to tackling what is going to be a huge problem come autumn. And as you say, Liz Truss happy to carry on with Rishi Sunak's £37 billion package that was announced before this leadership contest. Well, we've heard an update since then. As you say, the Bank of England last week with those interest rates and 15 months of recession. We need another look, don't we?
Well, and we will do, because that's exactly what Liz has said, that she's going to have an emergency budget and a spending review in the end of September. So we've only got a few weeks to wait for that. What we'll then be able to do, we'll be able to then look at Ofgem's announcement on the next change to the price cap, so that we can actually make the support measures in place and the tax cuts in place that actually reflect what's going on the ground rather than speculation. It's really important that we get this accurately so that we can respond accurately as well.
Yeah, but Paul, going on at the ground at the moment are people going to the wall, basically, and, you know, it's okay saying, you know, it's a couple of weeks until September and then we wait for the Ofgem report and whatever. Time, things tick on, and the accusation is towards both Ms Truss and Mr Sunak is they're just not in touch with the real world.
No, I disagree with that, Eamon. I mean, like what you found with COVID, similar things happened with the COVID. If you remember, the original budget to tackle COVID for economic support was around 12 billion. It ended up at 408 billion because we had to respond, we had to reflect as we knew exactly what was going on the ground. Now, as I say, we're at the foothills of this situation at the moment because we can see the forecast of energy prices and inflation. What we also need to do, though, is when we're looking at those forecasts, is we need to make sure that we are offering support for people now, and that's why there's going to be a budget within the next few weeks when Liz Truss becomes Prime Minister. But also we're looking at what more we can do for businesses as well to help grow the economy, because over the medium term, that's exactly how we tackle this squeeze in people's livelihoods and bills.
From the hustings tonight, it's up in Darlington. There hasn't been much talk of levelling up during this whole contest, and we've heard from the Deputy Prime Minister Dominic Raab today describing Liz Truss's fiscal plans as an electoral suicide note, and presumably she'll have to respond to that, won't she?
Yeah, well, I can respond to that now, frankly. It's really unhelpful language when you're coming up with things like that. And why? Because it gets distorted. And even now it's being distorted because what he said was it's electoral suicide if you make tax cuts and then you don't deliver. People don't feel better off in a couple of years' time. And that bit always gets dropped off the end where, you know, to make a headline or when people haven't read the full article that he wrote. So that's why we need to be tempered in our language. We need to make sure that we realise, yes, we've got a broad coalition as the Conservative Party. Yes, we're having a robust debate, but we've got to make sure that our language is appropriate.